Hey guys, Jack here bringing you a full video guide on how to record HD PC gameplay and also how to split out your audio channels. If you're new to recording PC games, this video will help you out immensely. You'll only have to watch it once and you can always come back to it if you need to. I've kept this as concise as possible and left out any waffle or meaningless chat. And before I start, I wanted to say there are other ways to record PC games. You don't have to follow this way, but in my opinion, it's the absolute best setup for recording and gaming on a single PC. Now, when I started doing YouTube, it was really important to me to be able to get the best quality footage whilst at the same time maintaining a good frame rate in multiplayer games, because if you play on PC, you know that if you've got low frame rate, it puts you at a big disadvantage and it makes the game unplayable. It's not a nice experience, and it also makes the footage itself choppy. So it was very important to me to find the best recording solution that I possibly could. I've gone through all the software: Fraps, Dxtory, MSI Afterburner, Playclaw, Bandicam, literally all of them. I've tried them all. So at the moment, all of my stuff, DayZ, Battlefield 3, I record it all from this PC, the same PC that I'm gaming on. I get very good FPS and I get very good quality video. So I'm going to show you guys from start to finish, no BS, how to set it all up. We're also going to be looking at the last part of the video at audio and how to split out your audio as well. So if you want to get into recording PC gameplay, this video is for you. Right, so let's talk about software. I'm going to be as quick as possible here. I don't want to keep you guys, I'm sure you've got lots of stuff to do. The best software to use on PC for capturing gameplay from a single PC is Dxtory. Hands down, Dxtory is what you need. Okay, if you want to get Dxtory, you can try a free version of it, but the free version is limited. It doesn't have all the options, whatever. You get a watermark as well. But let me tell you, Dxtory is definitely worth your money. It costs £29, English pounds that is, which I think works out to about $60 or $70, something like that. Maybe even cheaper than that. But yeah, Dxtory is worth your money. The guy that made Dxtory, I salute you. I don't know who you are, but thank you. It's got so many features for audio and for video, for codecs. There really is no competition. It also gives you the best frame rate when you're recording it of all the programs that I've tested. So Dxtory, you want to download it, you want to buy it, and you want to install it. Now, I'm not going to show you how to install things because that's ridiculous, but I'll show you what Dxtory looks like. So when you load Dxtory for the first time, you've got all these tabs at the top and you've got some little things at the bottom here. Again, I'm going to show you how to set this up as quickly as possible. This tab is all default. I don't do anything with this. It just shows you your FPS in the corner, whether you're recording or not. The folder tab is important. This is the box that shows Dxtory where you want to record your files, okay? When you load it for the first time, there won't be anything in this box. It will be completely blank, but you can see here I've got a folder. So any videos that I record are going to be in that folder at the moment. F New Wasteland. I'm not very good at naming folders, as you can see. So if you want to add a folder, you just click the little green add folder button there. Search for somewhere, make a new folder, test. Click OK. Now once you've done that, it will say 0 megabytes a second here, and this is the speed at which the video is going to write out on your hard drive. Okay, now to record gameplay on PC, when you're talking about games like Battlefield 3, Modern Warfare, DayZ, you know, modern games that people like to play and they like to watch on YouTube, you need a good PC. And by a good PC, I mean a quad-core processor or better, from within like the last 3 years. So like an Intel Sandy Bridge processor, like the 2500K, or if you've got higher than that, that's great. i5, i7, they work great. Or an AMD Bulldozer quad core You can use some of the older AMD quad cores, but you'll get better performance if you've got a more modern one. What's also important is, of course, your graphics card. You need good frames per second, and also your hard drive, which is very, very important for DxTory. You need a good hard drive, and by good hard drive, I mean at least a 7200 RPM hard drive, SATA 3. If your motherboard supports that, and if your hard drive supports that, that's good. Now, you need a write speed of at least 70 to 80 megabytes a second to be able to record 720p at 30 FPS without any lag, okay? If you've got a slow hard drive, you won't notice a difference on your game when you're recording, but when you watch the video back, it's going to be laggy because it's going to be dropping under 30, 24 FPS, it's going to be stalling, it's going to look bad basically. So you need a fast hard drive. Now, assuming you've got a fast hard drive, this little number here is, like I said, the speed that it's going to write at. So to get an approximation of your hard drive speed, you just press this little benchmark button here, okay? Now I'm going to add a different folder because at the moment I'm recording on that hard drive, and if I run a test on that hard drive it's going to take ages. So if I just remove this folder, I'm going to add one on the F drive instead, where I'm not recording to, so we'll go with BF3. Click the benchmark, 1000, click run, and that will do a little test on that hard drive. Okay, that's pretty good. So we've gone with 176 megabytes a second on that hard drive. So that's good enough for 1080p at 60 FPS, that write speed. So that's an option for you. If you've got a fast hard drive, you can record at more than 30 FPS if you want to do slow motion stuff in games, because that is the only thing that 60 FPS is good for. If you upload it to YouTube, all YouTube videos are at 30 FPS at the moment. So you only need to record at 60 FPS if you're going to be doing slow motion stuff. Okay? Right. So once you've got that folder sorted and you've confirmed that you've got at least 70 to 80 megabytes a second, you can move on. This tab is your hotkeys. I just use F8 to stop and start recording. If you want to take a screenshot, you can use F12. Now this video tab, this is probably the most important tab that you're going to use in DxTory. Now before you do anything in this tab, I need you to go and download the Lagarith lossless codec. Now you can get that at this website, lags.leetcode.net/codec.html. The link to this will be in the description, so you can just copy and paste it, whatever. Once you're on this page, you need to download the Lagarith installer. Get that one there. Download it, install it. Once you've installed it, you're going to have to close DxTory. So close that down, and then you're going to have to open it again, like so. Now once it's back open, you go on the video tab and click this little video codec thing here, and this will give you a load of options for your codec. You can see the DxTory video codec is the default one. You do not want to use that. You want to use the Lagarith lossless codec. I've tried lots of different codecs, and this one is the best for quality, for speed, and for file size. The three most important things when you're recording gameplay videos. Right, so Lagarith lossless codec, get that selected. Once that's there, if you click on the little pen here, this brings up the configuration for that codec. Now the mode, this is the quality. That's like perfect quality, but it takes up pardon my French, a shitload of hard drive space. And you want to use YV12. YV12 is absolutely perfect quality, and it looks great. The file size is great. Trust me, you don't need any higher than YV12. Just go with me on this. If you've got a quad-core processor, which you should have, you want to use multi-threading. Okay, and that's all you need to do here. Just click OK. Your frame rate, 30 frames per second. That's what I record at. You can change that to higher if you want. You can record at 10 frames per second if you want to. I don't know why you want to do that, but you can. Now down here, your output, your file output, if you're recording a video, you want to make sure that that's ticked. If you're live streaming, which is something that DxTory can also do, which I'm not going to cover in this video, maybe in another one, you want to tick direct show output. You can have both of these ticked at the same time, so if you want to stream and record, you can do that. But for now, we just want the file output ticked. we can ignore all this. I don't really use any of this. It's for cropping and that sort of stuff. If you want, you can include the mouse cursor, so you can tick that if you want. The scaling here, now this is the size that the video is going to record at. So if you want to record at whatever resolution you're playing at, you can just record at 100%, and that will. So if I play a game in 1920 by 1080, the video will record in 1920 by 1080. Simple. One of the best things about Dxtory is that you can play and record in different resolutions. So if you weren't really interested in doing 1080p videos, you could do 720p videos. So you can click on size and record at 1280 by 720, which is what YouTube classes as HD. So if you want to do that, you can do that. That's cool. Yeah, it's a cool feature. Anyways, I record at my native resolution, so I'll just leave that at 100%. And that's it for this tab. Now, your audio tab, we're going to come back to this later on in the video, but if you're playing by yourself a lot and don't really care about people's voices and game audio being in the same audio track, all you'll need to do here is add your speakers. So mine is the Astro Gaming Mix Amp. A lot of people will have Realtek audio, so you just add that. I use this, and your microphone if you want to record your microphone. So these will record on 2 separate tracks. You can add as many tracks as you want. You can see I've got line 1 and line 2. Well, again, I'm going to cover that later on in the video. That's all for the audio. The screenshot, I don't touch that. Now the advanced setting tab, there's only like one thing in here that you need to change, in my opinion. I've tried everything else. You can limit the FPS of the video if you want. You can ignore all this crap. It doesn't really do anything for me, and I've never found that changing it helps at all. Processing threads, this is the important one. So however many processing threads you have on your CPU, select that number. I've got an i7 which is hyper-threaded, so in theory I've got 8 threads, so we'll go with that. That's all for that one. This, I never do this, I just have check update on, so if there's a new version out, I load it up and it downloads it. Okay, not everyone wants a new version, whatever. That's just confirming that I've bought Dxtory and it's registered. Okay, and that's it for Dxtory. That's very simple to set up and easy to use. So what does Dxtory actually look like in game, and how do we record a video? Well, I've loaded Battlefield 3 here and put it in windowed mode so I can show you exactly what's going on, so when you do it for yourself it's going to be really easy. Now in the top left there you can see we've got green, video, and then 3 numbers. Now that's the frame rate of the game, and that's just showing us that Dxtory is working and it's ready to record a file. So our hotkey to record was F8, so I'm going to go ahead and press that now, and you'll see that it changes to yellow to show that we're live. You'll also see that on the right hand side we've got a new number, which is the frame rate that the video is recording at. It says file and then 30. Now if that drops below 30 and starts going to like 24, 25, you're going to get laggy video. And that's why I said it's really important to have a fast hard drive. If it's sticking around 30, that's great. If you record at 60 FPS and you've got a beast hard drive, then that's great. You want it to be sticking around 60. And you'll notice that when I started recording, even though I'm recording 2 things at the moment, I'm recording my desktop and I'm recording my game, my FPS didn't really take a hit at all. I probably lost like 5 frames per second, which isn't going to make a difference at all. If you were to record this with Fraps, my frame rate would probably half. Okay, so that's going from like 120 to 60, which is going to have a big negative impact on my game and on my gameplay. So Dxtory hardly touches the frame rate. Okay, that's what I'm demonstrating here. So when that's done, if you want to finish recording, you press the key again, so that's F8, and now it's turned back to green, and we'll have a little video file that's been created. So let's go and look at that video file and see what's going on with that. So I'm just going to Alt Tab. I recorded it to BF3 round 3. So let's find that. It'll be the latest one there, which is 1 minute 12 seconds. I'm going to turn the volume down because you'll be able to hear me. And there we go. Good quality video. It's nice and smooth, and it's not laggy. Perfect. Just what we wanted. Look at that. Lovely, lovely quality. And yeah, there you go. That's how you record with Dxtory. So that was actually a lot easier than you thought, right? Very easy to set up, very easy to use, and quite an inexpensive method of recording. Now, there is another way to record using Dxtory, and that is by ticking the raw cap option here. I'm not going to cover that in this video because you only want to use raw cap if you're really anal about video recording and you want 60 FPS and you want the absolute best quality. Money isn't a problem, you've got loads of hard drive space, a beastly PC, but most people, the AVI option, which I've just run through, will be absolutely fine. 99% of the videos on my YouTube channel are recorded using the method that I just described. So yeah, go with that. Now earlier I mentioned about the audio and splitting the audio. Now let me show you why I split the audio and how useful it can be. So what I've got here is a video that I recorded that I'm going to be using in a upcoming YouTube video, and I've dragged it into Sony Vegas. So let me just explain what's going on here. So the top line is obviously the video. Down below that we've got the game audio and the Skype audio together in one channel. So if I just take the volume down of the other ones, you'll see if I play it.
We're not all watching the exits. Like somebody's not got this staircase at the back.
I've got the staircase. You got that.
Okay, so
nice.
As you heard there, the audio and the game audio, sorry, the Skype audio and the game audio is together. So there we've got Paul speaking, then there's Gunfire, then there's me speaking, then Frankie. So it's all tied into one. But what if you're playing the game with your mates and you were to fire a rocket at a plane in the sky that was 300 meters away and you get a kill, okay? But at the same time, you've got your mate who's on TeamSpeak with you screaming his head off. Sort of ruins the clip. Some people might say it doesn't, some people say it does. But you want to use it in a montage with music in the background, and you can't really use it because it's just got your mate screaming in the background. Well, that's why I separate the audio, because it just makes things a whole lot easier. So now I've unmuted these. We've got my microphone here. That's okay. Game and Skype audio there. We'll turn the volume down on that, right? Now let's listen back. So here.
Like somebody's not got this staircase at the back.
I've got the back staircase.
I've got the staircase.
There's Frankie.
You got that.
Okay. So let's look at this. There's me. There's Skype. So if we turn Skype down and just play back this here, I've got the back staircase. There we go. So then you just heard the game audio, but you didn't hear Paul.
We're not all watching the exits.
And Frankie.
Like somebody's not got this staircase at the back.
I've got the back staircase. There we go. So the Skype audio is completely separate to the game audio on these two tracks. So that means that this kill that I got here, not that it was that impressive, but if I wanted to use it in a montage, it wouldn't have anyone speaking in the background. And I can turn down my microphone there as well. So there, we've just got the game audio. That's great. So that means that I can remove people's voices and I can chop and change them, for example. So say that I wanted Paul to say this like a bit earlier, I could do that. I could take out his voice here and put it closer to where he said that, so it's a bit more streamlined. It makes the clip a bit more snappy. So let's listen now.
We're not all watching the exits. Like somebody's not got this staircase at the back.
Okay, so there's not a gap there this time. Not that that's an amazing example, but you get the point. It means that you can edit the audio, you can edit people's voices, put them closer together, delete them completely if you want to. So that's how useful this can be. So how do you actually set this up? Well, it's done with a program called Virtual Audio Cable, which is available here. It's you can get a free trial, but the free trial has got like an audio repeater on it that says like free trial like every 30 seconds or something, which you don't want. You can buy this. I think it's $30, $25 to $50 depending on which version that you get. Again, it's well worth your money. This program is brilliant, and it saved a lot of videos for me. So when something cool's happened in Battlefield 3 but my mate was talking, I can just delete his voice, still have the game audio, and it looks cool, it sounds great. So yeah, I would purchase this if you're serious about video editing and getting into YouTube. So once that's downloaded, you want to make sure you install the right version. If you've got 64-bit, install the 64-bit setup. If you've got 32-bit operating system, install that one. So nice and easy. Once you've installed, you want to go ahead and restart your PC. Once you've restarted, come back to this folder and go to x64 or x86, depending on which sort of operating system you have. I've got 64-bit operating system, so I'm going to go in here. Now, in this folder, you're going to see these 4 files. The first thing you want to do is click on vcct-lpan.exe. Open that, and it'll bring up something that looks like this. Now, from what I can remember, you only have 1 cable set when you install this the first time. But basically, you want to have two cable sets. So feel free to copy my settings here, put 2, copy the numbers. You can just pause the video and just bang them all in. Once you've done that, you want to click set, and then you should have 2 cables here instead of just 1. Okay, so they should be the same setup that I've got here. Restart your PC. Once you've restarted your PC, you should check that this is working. So if you right click on the volume button down here and go to playback devices, if you scroll down, you're now going to see line 1 and line 2 in here. They'll also be in your recording one as well, but we don't need those. We need playback, line 1 and line 2. So that means that it's worked. Okay, so how do you actually use line 1 and line 2? Well, to set them up, you have to go back to the VAC folder and go to the x64, x86, whatever operating system you have again. And in here, we need to run 2 instances of audiorepeater.exe. Okay, now you have to do this every time you want to record. There's no quick way of setting this up. You just have to run this. You don't have to do the first bit where you set the cables. You just have to run these 2 EXEs every time. Now, once you've run 2 instances of them, oh, by the way, you can like pin that to your taskbar or to your desktop if you want. That way you wouldn't have to go to the folder every time. So I could right click and pin to taskbar, whatever, or make a shortcut. Anyways, to set these up, we need wave in on the first one as line 1 and wave out as your speakers. So like I said earlier, mine's the Astro Gaming USB mix amp. Yours will probably be Realtek or whatever sound card you have. On the second one, we want line 2 and then speakers again. Okay, so it's like that. The only things you need to change in here are the total buffer and the buffers. These are the settings that I use. They work great for me. So just feel free to copy these. 105, like that. So we've got line 1 speakers 105, line 2 speakers 105. I don't change any of this stuff. Once you're sure that's correct, click start on both of these, and this will create a virtual cable for your speakers. So we've got line 1 speakers, line 2 speakers, right? The next step is to make sure that we've got line 1 selected as your audio source. So if you go down to your speakers, right click, playback devices, you want to go to line 1, right click on it, set as default device and set as default communication device, and then click OK. You also want to make sure that if you click on mixer, this here is selected as line 1. Now you can see that that's actually working. So once that's done, we then need to set as Skype or Ventrilo audio, whatever that may be, as line 2. So it's separate. So on Skype, you go to Tools, Options, Audio Settings, Speakers, and we're going to set this to line 2. Then click Save. Okay, right, that's done. Now, if you use something like Ventrilo, go to Setup and select the output device as line 2. And you can do this for TeamSpeak, for Mumble, whatever chat program you use. Just make sure that your output device is on line 2 and not line 1, because line 1 is going to be your game audio. Okay, So once that's all set up, you've got line 2 as your chat program, line 1 as your primary. So make sure that's set there, line 1. You're good to go. That's it. So now, if you load DxTory back up, you want to make sure that in the audio sources, you've got line 1 and line 2, as well as speakers and microphone, okay? So to add these, I'm going to assume that you've not added them yet. Just click the plus twice. We'll go on the third one. Make sure line 1 is selected. You don't need these ones at the bottom. Those ones are the recording devices. You want the ones at the top here, playback. So line 1 for 3 and line 2 for 4. So now DxTory is recording speakers, microphone, line 1 and line 2. So that's going to give us the setup that I showed you earlier with the 4 audio tracks in Sony Vegas. And that means that you're going to be able to split your audio out and completely separate your communication audio from your game audio, which is extremely useful, as I just demonstrated. And that's pretty much it, guys. If you've got an okay gaming PC with a decent hard drive, you can record 720p and 1080p HD footage of your gameplay without any lag and record it, upload it to YouTube, do whatever you want with it. As for rendering goes, because I know some people are going to ask in the comments or send me PMs, so I thought I'd chuck it in at the end here. There's really nothing special. I normally use Sony Vegas. Sometimes I use After Effects, but it's mainly Sony Vegas. And I'll show you my settings now. A couple of tips for you. You want to always make sure that you disable resampling. To do that for an individual clip, you click on the video track, right click, go to Properties, and make sure Disable Resample is selected. Now, a lot of people actually click on this and go through each individual one, which takes ages if they've got a lot of cuts. A quick way to do this is to double tap D on your keyboard, and it changes your mouse into like this little box rectangle thing. Then you want to hold down left click and select just the video tracks. If you select any audio tracks, this does not work, okay? So just select the video tracks. Once you've got all the tracks selected that you want to disable resampling on, go to Edit, Switches, and Disable Resample. And that will do it for all the tracks. Now the reason you disable resampling is because it's the software's attempt to make the video seem smoother. But in reality, it just makes it blurry and it looks really bad. So you want to always make sure that you've got resampling disabled. In Premiere and After Effects, it's called frame blending, and I think it's an option just before you go to render. But if you're using Sony Vegas, make sure you do that. As for the actual video type, if you go to File and Render As, this is the only one I use a Windows Media Video V11. I've got a template there, but you can make your own. The audio is pretty much the default. Video, quality VBR, that's important, okay? Windows Media Video 9, keep original size, frame rate 30 FPS, and I use 86% quality, okay? The quality of that is really good for YouTube, and the file size isn't that bad if you've got a decent upload speed. Bitrate, that's all default. Index project is best, and then that's it. It's dead simple. You click OK, you click render, and it'll produce a good quality video with an okay file size. So yeah, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this once again. Feel free to come back to it and ask any questions in the comments below, and I'll try and respond to you. I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure if you've got a friend that wants to get into YouTube or making videos, send them this video. You'll only have to watch it once. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you like this sort of stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.